Welcome to the Construction Pals podcast, brought to you by LinqPal, your source for the latest in the construction world. Hard hats off, headphones on, and let's get started.
Welcome back. I'm Jason. I'm the host of the Construction Pals podcast. And again, we are here to bring together industry experts and community members to talk about all the important issues in the construction industry. This is our second episode of a series with Mark Mitchell, the wizard of building materials, sales, and marketing, and Yaser Masoudnia, the CEO of LinqPal. If you missed the first episode with Yaser and Mark, please check it out here. We are going to be displaying a link as well for you to research and see more on that. And we're going to discuss how to grow your building material business continually. And in this episode, we're focusing on tearing down the construction industry's comfort zone. And Mark, what a great way to start, I think, by really getting your perspective. Is the construction industry stuck in a comfort zone? And on that note, right, thinking more holistically about diminishing returns when you're restricted to a particular comfort zone. So over to you, Mark, to kick us off on this topic number 2.
Well, I think that we're going through some real disruption. We have a number of companies and people in the industry that I jokingly say that we have too many old white guys in this industry. Okay, and we have companies that act like an old white guy. Okay, and a way to think about this many times is like you look at someone who's successful. So let's say I'm a roofing contractor. And I'm 62 years old, and I'm a large roofing contractor in Poughkeepsie, New York. Maybe I'm the biggest guy in Poughkeepsie, right? Well, if you'd asked me when I graduated from high school, what my life was going to be like, how much money I was going to make, I would never have thought that I'd be making, $1 million or more a year now, and with a high school education. Like, I'm kind of on top of the world. I got things figured out, right? The last thing I want is any new or different ideas, okay? Everybody comes to me, everybody knows me, and I can tell them, oh, that new stuff, you don't want that. Trust me, you want the old stuff. And so we got that kind of customer that has dominated. But now it's amazing to see the other side of that is many building material businesses are. It's easy to say I'm an insulation contractor. It's easy to say I'm a painter. It's even easy to say I'm a home builder. Okay. Now it's hard to run that business and do it successfully, but it's relatively easy to just say you are. So we have also a number of people who are very good at a particular, I'll use the word trade, but they just happen to fall into their running their own business. They really don't like the running business part. They just like doing the work. And so they traditionally go along and hopefully make it, but never make it great. But now I've noticed a number of people that have entered the industry, and I call them very smart business people, who just happen to decide to be in the roofing contractor business. They could be successful in the car wash business. They could be successful in the dog care business or something. But, and it's interesting to see, how successful these people are. And if I were trying to sell somebody, I would be going to those up and coming people because they're open to new ideas. They're open to doing things. They aren't interested in following in the footsteps of the old white guy. And so that's been a change I've just, seen over the last maybe 3 years where I think some people have recognized that this is a great industry that is overlooked. And so everybody, I want to go work in high tech. I want to go work here. I want to go work there. Well, that's fine. But, that there's a lot of competition there. And it's much easier to be a rock star in the building materials or construction industry. And I think some people are waking up to that.
And Mark, one of the reasons we were so excited to have you on the show is your candor and transparency. I mean, it's very important, right? When you talk about the industry and the transition that's happening, the speed of change and innovation between AI, financing, digitization, it's intense. And again, to build on our last discussion, it's moving rapidly. And a lot of the old timers or folks that have been around for a while, as you've mentioned, for them, technology is a word that describes something that doesn't work yet. In some instances, at least some of the discussions we've had with folks, getting them to understand things. So, what will be that being said? Some of the biggest challenges in adopting these new technologies that will help get out of the comfort zone and be aligned in lockstep with the acceleration that's happening. Big thanks due to COVID-19.
One of the things I've noticed is it's not that people think that technology is not good. The issue is that every month they're presented with a new technology solution. And most of the time they'll look and say, wow, that would help my business. That's a good idea. But so would this one, and so would this one, and so would this one. And so if you're, not real tech savvy, it's kind of like saying, they got this thing called Photoshop. It could do amazing things with it. Now, you're going to need to spend about 90 days in classes and so forth to learn how to put, your wife's head on the dog, okay, and make it look good, right? And or change the sunset or whatever Photoshop can do, right? And I find they tend to look at everything, no matter what you tell them. Like if you sign up for Salesforce, you sign up for HubSpot, okay? Wonderful tools, but unbelievable learning curves and change. They're not easy. And so here comes somebody with an inventory management thing, or somebody here with a automatic plan drawing or an estimating program. They all sound wonderful, but I'm finding more companies. It's not that they're resisting, but they're saying I can only digest so much at a time. So maybe I can take on one new change a year, or maybe two. And so I think that I've seen that. So one of the challenges I find with technology is to one, realize you're what all you're competing with, and then to be able to present yourself as a way that becomes more important than the other things they may want to do, and also things that you can do to actually prove to them, what is the adoption curve? How much investment and time is it going to take for me to get this used, working and using this, to change our internal habits? And a final thing I've seen, where I was working with a company that had this amazing new software that would help a company lower their maintenance costs on doors. And these were like $10,000 automatic doors. And so somebody like Home Depot, might have 4,000 of these doors. And so when a door is broken, it's like, okay, the pressure is get it fixed now, okay? But maybe that door should be replaced instead of fixed. Maybe that door is still under warranty, okay? Well, most customers don't know those things. And so they'd put together an amazing software which would instantly be able to say to the facilities manager, oh, door number 859, you should repair that. Okay. Oh, nope, that's covered by warranty. And here's the person that will fix it for free. Or, this is at the end of its life. It probably is a better thing to just get a new door. And they went and took it to their customers, and the customers were not interested. And then they came to me and said, Mark, what did we miss here? So I went and met with the customers, and I got that same story. It's like, Mark, that's a great thing, but like we get great things every day. And then when I turned the story around to about how this would enable them to show their management, like how smart they were, how much the prudent way that they're managing the company's money, all of a sudden when they saw, oh, I will look great to my boss, as opposed to this is why it's good for your company, all of a sudden they couldn't sign up fast enough. So sometimes, it's also, we think about a guy works for a company, so I should go and tell him why it's right for the company. But if his boss isn't looking for this, that's not on his list of things to do. He's not looking for, more work for me. Oh, that sounds good. And a little risk in case I recommend this and it doesn't work. I like that, No, not so much.
And the one constant in all this seems to certainly be that you're more likely to get collaboration if it's moving forward, if it's a mobile or some type of a digital initiative. And we know that, and this will be part of kind of the next item to talk about, but we know that this is very concerning in this particular space. And you have to start with the fundamentals. If you think about companies that come in like LinqPal being able to provide financing and payments made easy. But the other thing is this constant dichotomy, right? This barrage of technology solutions versus the risk of doing business as usual. So when it comes to that, if you could simply describe some of those risks to the businesses that are operating today that are just towing the line, what are those inherent near-term risks they're going to face in this environment that you've so eloquently described in the discussions we've had?
Well, I very closely related to this. I'm working with a company that acquired two products from a large corporation, and the large corporation just decided, we're just going to go out of, we're going to stop making this and selling it. It doesn't fit with our future, even though it was several, I don't know, $10 million or something. And so literally one of their salespeople saw, wow, I sell a lot of this stuff, and was able to buy I'll call it the formula, the rights to the products, and found somebody to manufacture it. And one of the things that he found was that this big corporation had very set and strict credit policies. And so there were customers that were, would buy more, but the company wouldn't give them a big enough line of credit, and just the way that they did things. And so he was able to reassess each customer. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, 100 customers, not 10,000, but but he was able to sit down with them and reassess their credit, and in many places, give them better terms or increase it. And boom, he not only kept the customer, but they became a bigger customer.
Well, and it goes back again, as you just were alluding to there. If you get the fundamentals down, the level of everything you do will rise. So having a solution that's going to give you that flexibility to scale, absolutely critical. And, when we think about new technologies, we get a lot of questions, from building suppliers that are out there in the media talking about technologies. You've got advanced items, construction robots and drones. Certainly AI is red hot in 3D printing. But again, I want to go back and reiterate the importance of the fundamentals. Without that, it's really difficult to take on the others. So from that kind of a lens, what are some of the top technologies you believe today that these building suppliers absolutely must have to then proceed onward and leverage some of these other technologies?
Well, I think that the most important thing that they have to have is the foundation of everything, and that is as good a website as they can have. And it's surprising how many have just really bad websites. And you go to their website and you don't have any idea what they make, or what is this? It's amazing how many companies just make that mistake. It's hard to navigate. It's not inviting. And, so that's certainly, another thing that's happened, I think, is because of COVID, we sit home today and we've been trained by Amazon how to consume, when we're making a product decision, we want to consume information. So you think about, you go to an Amazon page, there's the name of, what is this product? There's a picture. Right under that there's some reviews, and it looks like 400 people gave it 4.5 stars, so I can feel good there. I could get this in 2 days. Here's the price. And not here's 1,000 words about the product, but here are 5 bullet points, the main, most important things that I'd want to know. Then if I want to scroll down and get a little more information, and I want to see people's questions or read reviews or see what some alternative options are, they've just kind of made it really smooth and easy and quick to go through. And how many companies' websites today, it's like you're going, where am I supposed to go? Okay, it's like you're in this, you're lost in a jungle or something, and so that's one. The other one, I find companies just really miss the boat, and that is that people are looking online today for answers to their questions. They're not looking for why is my product better. They're looking for, how to do a better job with credit, or how to, attract and retain more of my, better installers, or whatever, or quote better, or what do I do about warranties and things like that. And the companies that provide the best helpful information attract the most people to their websites, and then the people associate, wow, they give me really great advice. I'll bet they're actually pretty good to do business with. And so many people have to, if we're going to write a blog post or do a YouTube video or a podcast, it has to be about 5 reasons why our product is the best. And I'm like, no. Share some of your great knowledge, and then, they'll put 2 and 2 together, but they have a hard time doing that. The third one is the need to respond literally instantaneously today. That I was reading the other day where people want a response within like 5 minutes. And so we're used to, if I order something from Amazon, I know, yep, we got your order. I know it's shipped. I know when it's going to arrive. And so when I see a business-to-business product and I inquire about it, whether I fill out a contact form on a website or however I do it, I expect an answer back. I'm interested right now. Not, I've got one client that everything has to go through their salespeople. Well, their salespeople get so many inquiries per week. It's like maybe 4 days later that you might get a phone call from this person, and maybe you'll be home to answer the call. Okay. Or, and I'm like, what, and so they don't see the value. And so that's why we've seen things like chat boxes pop up, because that's a way that a person feels like I got instantly responded to, even if it's just a computer, trying to answer a question or record something. And so that ability to respond literally as instantaneously, and to use all the technology tools that enable you to do that. Those are the big things I think companies have to do.
Mark, on that note, right? I mean, and we've talked about it, credibility, it's not just the content expertise, right? It's that plus the presence that you put forth in the marketplace through things just like we're doing today, having an open dialogue. Certainly search engine optimization is a key one. But I think, like you said, going back to the basics, talking about the website, and do they do a good job delivering a solid kind of highlighting the customer problems, message flow, big ideas, call to action, and then this instantaneous environment we live in. And I guess it's appropriate to kind of round out and complete our discussion with Yaser to kind of talk a little bit about some of, reflecting on some of these things, and also saying from his perspective, based on what we just talked about, what are some of the softwares and technologies that he's used in his construction business that have done these things and checked those boxes? So Yaser, over to you to round out our discussion.
Sure, absolutely. I can talk a little bit about as a point of view, a builder, general contractor. There are some technologies that we use for our website, for our basically communication with our customers, and managing our project, managing our financing. Those are all good in terms of the construction contractor business or general contractor business. But what I'm excited about, there are some new products, new services or software or technologies that I've seen suppliers have started to adopting, and those are really exciting. And one of the most exciting one for me is Go4, that allows these suppliers to get the material to me quickly at the job site. And I'm really thankful to these guys. Small startup tech companies out of Canada that has started this, and they're rolling it out in the US too. So those are the things that is coming up in the construction industry, not specifically something that I can adopt, but I'm sure material suppliers can adopt, and then their us as their customers will benefit from that. More importantly, they would be able to attract more customers, grow their business faster, and scale their business, and create a unique customer experience in a lot of cases in a commodity market. How do you differentiate your product? How do you differentiate your services? And that's where these technologies are heading toward us. And Mark, you brought up Salesforce and HubSpot and all of those good tools that a lot of tech companies use, but construction industry, they don't have that human resource and technology savvy users to adopt those. What I'm interested and excited about going forward is the technologies that are coming to the construction industry and designed for small businesses who don't have a back office, who don't have 10 people managing software, who don't have a big IT team, who are maybe like contractor business like us, they are on the go, or they don't have tech savvy users. So there are technologies coming toward us that helps us to adopt technologies that are designed for people in this industry as manufacturers of material, suppliers, distributor, retailers of the construction material, and as we go down the supply chain, general contractors and subcontractors. And I think those are the things that are going to make a big difference in our life, and it's going to make this industry efficient, and that at the end of the day, those are going to adopt, those who adopt to these changes that are coming up are those who are going to be successful. It could be very small businesses who can adopt to the change, and always has been historically in any industry that you look at, smaller businesses were able, those who were able to adopt these technologies and move forward, that have been successful. And I think we are seeing the same thing in construction industry that has been a bit behind on other industry when it comes to adopting technology.
And Yaser, it's that passion that you have as a small business CEO and the things we've talked about, this thematic approach of knowing the product, knowing your customer, and having a burning desire to solve this real problem. And I would just close out, Mark, and say, right, the influence of a great teacher can never be erased. And the work you've done, as you said in the very beginning in the first segment, 4 decades of experience helping businesses kind of transform and imparting this wisdom and speaking with teams across, the country and that are navigating these trends. So thank you so much for your time. And Yaser, as always, thank you for your insights and guidance and the work you're doing at LinqPal. And hope to do more of these. And ideally, Mark, maybe even in person sometime soon.
We love it. We love it. I'm jealous you're there in New York. I can't wait to get back there.
And we'll be waiting for you and welcome you here when the time's right. And there's a lot of new building going on. Just
awesome.
Keep it in the back of your mind.
It's good. Good to hear.
Thank you, gentlemen, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thanks for listening. And don't forget to subscribe for more episodes like this. For more information on Construction Pals podcast and LinqPal, please visit LinqPal.com.